All right, I'm going to go ahead and get started. Thank you all so much for spending your evening with me. It's a huge blessing, and I'm super honored that you're giving me this opportunity to spend this time with you and share some of my learnings with you. And I'm super proud of you for taking the initiative to grow. I know growth is not easy. And sometimes we get frustrated with the situations we're in, but it's not always easy to take the next steps to grow. So congrats to you for taking this hour of me time to invest in yourself. So if you need to grab your glass of wine, do what you need to do. I am here for you, and thank you so much for spending this evening with me. I really appreciate it. So I mentioned earlier I wanted to take today's time with you to talk about motivation. After last 2 weeks ago when I did the last coaching session, a lot of you had questions about, I'm just not motivated. How do I stay motivated? How do I take advantage of all this stuff? I just can't, Avilia, I'm struggling. And I heard you, and I love when you guys DM me and send me messages and tag me in things. It's super helpful because I want to make sure that I continue to create content and make it super relevant for you. So let's keep that open communication. I love to hear from you. So we're going to start with the breakdown of the word motivation. And motivation is basically when your passion and your power are combined, and it sort of helps you take action. So I have it here. Motivation means having the passion and the power to take action. You need both. You need to have that passion and the power. And so I'm going to walk you through some examples on how we're going to talk through passion and power to help you with motivation. So a lot of us ask ourselves, why is my life not the way I wanted? This is not how I pictured my life at the age of whatever it is, right? I'm 33. My life, we ask ourselves sometimes, why didn't it happen for me? Or why hasn't it happened for me? Or why isn't X, Y, or Z? Or why is it like this? Why? I love that we ask ourselves why. It's really important to ask yourselves the why. The problem is that we stay in that first why and we just leave it there. And let's talk a little bit about, and I want to make this interactive, if you can comment on here, let's talk a little bit about what are some of the excuses you hear from others, or what are some of the excuses you tell yourself as to why your life is what it is. Feel free to share. So as you're sharing, I'm going to go through some. So I hear sometimes, I have kids and they take up all my time. And so that's why my life is what it is, because I don't have the time to focus on myself. I hear my job. My life is the way it is because of the job that I chose, and it's either I'm not making enough money, so I can't do the things that I want. That's why my life is what it is. Or my upbringing. This is what it is. I was born into this life or this lifestyle, and this is what my life is. This is why my life is this way. Your finances, right? Maybe you only have one income. You're not doing any side hustles. I have 3 side hustles. So it's really important to think about how you get those, right? Fear, embarrassing yourself, judgment, absolutely. Like all these things are reasons why we have the excuse of our life being the way it is. The powerful thing though, and the hard pill to swallow, is a lot of the times your life is the way it is because of you. Now I'm just going to let that sink in, and I know none of us like to hear it sometimes. We want to have something to blame, sometimes something to put an excuse on, but it doesn't matter what situation or what circumstance you were born into. The first thing you need to acknowledge is that most of you are American citizens, and I believe most of you live in the US. We are a very privileged society. There are a lot of resources that exist that a lot of other countries or a lot of other people don't have. And I don't like to really talk about, us versus them. But the truth is that you live in amazing times right now. Not only are we citizens and we have a lot of resources to support us, but the evolution of technology has given us access to wider amounts of information, right? Not only do you have access to books and library, you literally have all the answers to what you need in your phone, right? Through Google. So just, I know it's a hard pill to swallow, but the powerful thing about this is that you have the power. And so as soon as you acknowledge that you are living the life that thanks for that heart. The reason why you're living the life that you're living is because of your choices in you. But we can change that, and that's what we're going to get into now. So I want to talk about what we do sometimes to solve for the lack of motivation. I'm tired. Drink coffee. I can't sleep. We take pills to sleep. I'm depressed. I'm going to eat all the food I love. I'm overweight. So I'm just going to take these little pastillitas that I can get, at a typical store. We tend to want to answer a lot of the reasons as to why we are not motivated with things around us, right? Like I said, coffee or pills or food or binging or whatever it is, we tend to try to solve it with external things. And the truth is, what happened to hard work, right? What happened to echándole ganas, right? If you were to ask my parents, and I come from an immigrant background, and if you want to know a little bit more about my story, in the first chat, I went a little bit into detail about who I am and where I come from, so you can listen to that. You can go to the link in my bio for understanding on how to get access to it. But our parents sometimes just say, just do it. Like, échale ganas, mija. Like, just go for it, right? And sometimes we forget what that is. I always talk about when people say, wow, how'd you make it to Harvard? Like, you went to Harvard. Yeah, that took 13 years. It took meeting my mentor very young, me putting myself in, as Adriana mentioned, very fearful environments where I felt embarrassed, right? And environments where I thought people were judging me. I mean, it takes a long time to make that happen when you come from, a community or an experience that you're not exactly directly connected to the Harvard network or the investment banking network. So it takes a lot of hard work. And the good thing is that I'm going to share with you some ways on how to start doing this hard work. And I'm just going to be really honest with you. The real reason a lot of you are not motivated and you're sitting on the sidelines and you're just asking yourself why one time, right? Why is my life the way it is? I really think it's because you don't want to know the truth. You don't want to dig that deep inside to understand why you're really in that situation. And I'm going to walk you through an experience in my life that will show you asking yourselves more than one why is really painful. And growth is painful. But what you come out as on the other end is so powerful. And I'm going to show you that. So I always tell someone, ask yourself why as many times as you can. And I'm going to start with an example that you're like, well, how does this make sense, Avilia? So there was a point in my life, early 2018. I found myself rushing to work, like barely making it on time, right? And I hate that. I don't like to be late for things. I don't like people judging me about that. And so I was thinking, well, what the hell's taking me so long, right? I'm taking forever to pick my clothes. That's what it came down to. Like, why was I showing up so late? Well, it's because I'm taking forever to pick my clothes. Why number 2? Why are you taking forever to pick your clothes? Well, I'm feeling really insecure about my weight. Well, why are you feeling insecure about your weight? Because I'm not getting up in the morning to do my workouts. Well, why are you not getting your workouts in? Because I'm staying up really late at night. Well, why are you staying up really late at night? Well, I was having a lot of conflict and arguments with a partner that I lived with at the time. So my boyfriend at the time and I were just having some issues. And why were we having issues? We couldn't figure that out. And so he didn't want to go to a therapist. He didn't want to work on the relationship. Well, why? He just wasn't ready to invest in the relationship the way I was. And I had never done therapy or anything like that. But, when you're in a relationship and you're really committed, you want to try to understand, how do we fix this? So that many whys got me from why I was late at work, and the why drilled all the way into it was a relationship issue. And so I have to ask myself, why am I holding on? Right? Why is this happening? And I sat and I could not figure it out. And finally, I got a therapist, and I use what's called Talkspace. It's an app. You kind of swipe like you do on dating apps to find a good therapist that matches with you. And what I started working on with her is something called attachment styles. So because of the experiences I had growing up and the way I grew up, I learned that I had an attachment style that was affecting this relationship, and why it was so difficult for me in this relationship. And that was a lot of voice notes, because you can leave voice notes in the app, sort of like WhatsApp. You can leave voice notes or you can leave text to communicate with the therapist. And she answers 2 times a day, the morning and the evening, 5 days a week. And I'm not even going to lie. There were days where I would send her like 10 messages because I was just losing my mind. I was lost in my thoughts and my emotions, and I didn't understand. And anytime I don't understand anything, it drives me crazy. Like I get really frustrated. It's just how I am. I need to understand stuff. And so this therapist basically helped me understand. There's a survey you can take, and if you have access to my playbacks, I'll put it in the notes, and you'll have access to all this stuff. It's a survey. You take this survey and it breaks out the attachment styles and where you fall in. And I'm not even gonna lie, I was working down in the valley and I had to drive there for 4 hours and back, and some of those moments turned into like crying sessions, just trying to understand. Like, I didn't think it affected me. I thought, pues eso ya pasó, like that was in my past, I'm over it, I'm good. And as you start drilling into the whys, I was like, oh my God, like I gotta work on this. That's so courageous to seek therapy. I'm finding myself and centering my life because of my therapy. Oh, absolutely, 100% agree with you. Therapy, it was hard for me to take that in, but I did, and I did it through the app because I was like, no one has to see me. I don't have to take time away from my job to go drive to this place and sit in front of this lady who probably doesn't look like me or anything or understand my background or anything. She's probably some educated woman who doesn't know anything about my life. I was very walls up, but I was in love in the relationship, and I just couldn't do how much I was losing myself in the relationship, and so I jumped in and I did it. And so she helped me understand the why. I had an attachment style that was not healthy for me, and I needed to work through that. And so as I worked with that, obviously I ended the relationship and I moved on. And understanding that, I mean, it just opened up doors for me. It was, the name of the app is called Talk Space, Talk Space. And it was just so eye-opening to me, how much weight came off my shoulders. I was crushing it after that. I ended the relationship. I moved in with some girlfriends, and then I got this place that I have now. And, I just was going hard. Like, I would wake up at 5 a.m. I was doing my workouts. I did the Myra Bettis Fit Me Challenge for 6 weeks. That challenge took me 11 weeks. But I freaking did it. And if you want, you can go to my Instagram and scroll down to like November area time, like maybe October, November of last year. And I have a picture on there where I showed before and after, and my nalguitas are out because I was filming myself and I was so proud of myself. But it takes that, it takes that long to really like embrace yourself. And I broke down hard. I had those moments where you're like in the shower, like sobbing, like why? Or maybe that's just me. I have those moments. The shower is a very personal space for me, I guess. But I think that's why some of us look to coffee or look to, oh, it's my kids, oh, it's my husband's job, oh, it's my job. We leave it all out on the exterior as to how to solve these problems, when really, if you just sit there and go through at least 5 to 8 whys, you're going to get to some real deep places. But when you come out of that place, holy crap. Like, I hope that you guys take the time to really think about the why. Take something in your life and say why 5 to 8 times. Okay? And so once you figure out that why, then you're going to have the passion. You're going to know, I'm so late to work, I'm so insecure, I'm so this, I'm so that, and it's because I'm learning how to manage my attachment style, and now I get up early, and now I'm crushing my fitness, and now. Like, I was just like on fire. Like, I was just going. I would sit on Sundays, I would put my schedule, workouts was in there, when I was going to eat, all of that stuff. Like, and I talked you through before, on Sundays by 8 p.m., my entire schedule of everything I want to do for the week is set because it's attached to my life alignment goals and my goal setting projects and all of that. And so if you want access to that life alignment exercise with the goal setting exercise attached to it, I just created it last night. You can purchase it on my website via the link in my bio. That is how I got myself through these ruts. So someone asked a question, was it that easy to leave the relationship? Hell no. I cried. There was a lot of Ramon Ayala. There was a lot of girls in tequila. I mean, it was not easy. And it takes time. That's why you have to be patient with yourself. And these understanding the why you don't have motivation, it's going to take time. Like, I got down to 8 whys. Each one of those whys probably took me a week to figure it out, right? Because I was doing all of this on my own. And a lot of that is why I started this life coaching. Like, a lot of us do this on our own. And like, there's things out there. There are things that I read to understand, to help me process this stuff. And I can't contain this. I need to get it out to all of you so that you can have these tools and to know that you're not alone. Like, I don't care that I worked on Wall Street and then I went to Harvard and like, my shit's not figured out. It's not. It's a growth process every single day. Finding yourself is one of the most moving things you can do to people. People are afraid of change. Love you, sis. Thank you. Yeah, it's hard. Change is very, very hard. Finding yourself is very hard. Because you have to look inside, right? That's a great point. A lot of us wear certain brands to hide behind an image, right? If you wear, I don't know, if you wear some brand, you're associated with some lifestyle, right? So it's easier to wear brands and to hide behind brands as to this is what you are. But when you hit pause and you really dig deep inside to understand, like, this is who I am, that takes work, girl. It takes work. So I just wanted to put myself out there. And that's just one of many examples of when I pull myself into the why. And when you get to that bottom, you figure out that passion, and now you have the power to really, really go after, like, this is how we do it. Honestly, I'm scared of the whys. Be scared of the whys. You should be scared of the whys. Absolutely. And not a lot of people do it. And that's what I want to get you into now is mediocre. 95% of people, and don't quote me on that stat, I heard it on probably some speech or something. It's not statistical, it's not proven. I don't have the backup to that. But let's say 95% of people are mediocre because we don't want to ask ourselves the whys. We don't want to know. We don't want to do those ugly cries. We don't want that. And so, and the other thing is that this is this stat, I got it from a more credible site, but I can't remember what it was. It's 1 in 4 people have absolutely no one to talk to about their pain and their agony and the things that are going through. 1 in 4 people. Can you believe that? Like, think about your girlfriends. If you've got 8 girlfriends you're really close to, you are blessed, right? If you just look at 8 people in your office, 2 of those people have no one to talk to about their problems. That was another reason why this fueled me. I wanted you to feel like you have someone here that you can connect to. DM me, tag me, do what you need to do. You could go to one of the stories in my Instagram, and I post things that women share with me. Obviously, I cover everyone's identity because it's so important for everyone to know you are not in this alone. So most of our lives, most people are going to choose to be mediocre, right? The people that make it really big are those really weird, awkward people who just go for it, right? And I consider myself one of those really weird, awkward people. Like, I'm different, and I know it, and I embrace it, and I like it, and I don't care. It's taken a while to get to this confidence level, but when you keep asking yourselves the why, you get that passion. And so the other thing that I want to share with you is that a lot of you are following different people on Instagram. I am so happy we connected on Instagram, and I hope that I bring a lot of positive life and light to your life. But what you get is that other 5%, right? If we're going to be mediocre 95% of our lives and only 5% of our life we want to show off something amazing, that's all you're seeing on Instagram. And it just makes you feel worse, right? And then you tell yourself, why is my life not like that? Why is my life this? And you got to stop that. You got to hit pause. As soon as you feel that, take a step back. Number 1 through 8, what are the whys? And dig into it and really try and figure that out. And so the other reason that I really want to dig into is a lot of the reasons, and I'm going to call you out on your stuff here, ladies. Fear. We are scared. We are scared to open up those whys, right? Some of you mentioned it already. We are so scared because a lot of us have some pain. A lot of us come from pain and have had some very painful times and some truths and realities that we don't want to face. And it's just easier to drink more coffee and lose more sleep and just keep going and going and going and going and masking all our issues. It's not healthy. And so I'm hoping that being as vulnerable as I can through this talk and future talks, that I motivate you and encourage you, make you feel a little bit more comfortable to be more vulnerable. And actually today's really inspiring me to show you all more of like what life is really like, to show some of those vulnerable moments so that you know you're not alone. And so one of the biggest reasons why you're scared, I talked about it, right? It's hard to be alone. And you're going to lose friends. Like when you go on this journey towards a greater self, you're going to get those that are like, mira, ahora se cree, ¿no? Se cree la gran cosa, right? You're going to hear people say things. Oh, she thinks she's like that. Oh, now you can think, why does she think she can be that, right? You're going to get negative talk around you sometimes. And that's scary. You never want to be the outcast. And you know what's scarier is to say like, no, I'm going to do this for me and I'm going to go for it. And I'm not going to tell anybody and I'm just going to go. And don't do it alone. When you don't have someone that you can be accountable to, it's hard to keep up with it. It's always super important to have one or two people that you can share these things with so they can be your support. Shoot, tag me, DM me. I will be here to support you. I love when I'm united by women who are hustlers and go-getters, and there's not a lot of us out there, and so we have to stick together, and I'm here for that support network. So I'm going to tell you 4 reasons on why you're fearful. Reason number 1, or one of the reasons, is you're not clear on exactly what your goals are, right? You figure out these whys and you're like, well, ¿y ahora qué? Where do I go from here? Like, I figured out that there's some whys in here, but I need to hit pause, Avilia, and I need to set a goal and I need to go after that. So you need to be very clear on your whys, you know? An example of that is, I want to lose weight. Well, if you lose 1 pound, that's losing weight, right? You want to be very specific. You can say, I want to reach this body fat, or I want to reach this weight level, or I want to do this. But sometimes we go there and you're like, you know what? I'm motivated. I want to lose 20 pounds. I'm going to go for it. And from day 1, you go super hard, and then you realize, like, time out, girlfriend. Why don't we focus on you getting up on time first? So let's be patient. Take your time. The first week, let's just make sure I can get up at 5 a.m. every morning to go on those runs. Let's just make sure. So set the alarms, get into the habit of waking up at 5 a.m. every day, and get into the habit of getting in bed by 9 p.m. every night so that you can get your 8 hours of sleep. Take baby steps. You need to figure out what that goal is and be patient with yourself to get to those. Again, don't be afraid to ask yourselves a why, because these whys take time. Being patient with yourself takes time. We've got 5 more months left in this year. Like, this is why people set goals in the beginning of 2019, and then after 1 week, ahí muere. Because you didn't hold the patience with yourself. You get out, gym memberships skyrocket, everybody's like, we're gonna lose weight, and then everyone just falls off. Because you need to be patient with yourself. Set those baby steps. Get that roadmap going. If your goal is, Avilia, I feel stuck, I want to go be inspired, I want to travel. Okay, well, how much do you need? Okay, I need $1,200. Okay, save $100 a month. Save $25 a week. How are we going to find $25 a week, right? You go and you build those schedules. It's not just going to happen overnight. You have to have a really clear reason. This is number 2. Have a really clear reason as to why you want that goal. Why? Why do you want to go on that vacation? Why do you want to buy that new house? Why? Again, why is so important. So when you have the reason why, I always say set goals, and this is called SMART goals. And so if you purchase the goal setting exercise I have, you'll see what the definition of SMART is and how to work through that. And it takes you through it step by step. How do I set a SMART goal? And it'll walk you through it. It's super easy. It comes with an automatic timeline. And that's what I use when I set my goals. Make sure they're SMART goals. The third one was accountability, right? We talked about that. Some of us don't have accountability. We have no one to go and talk to about a dream. Maybe no one we feel comfortable with. And again, I'm putting myself out there, girl. I am here for you. I love this stuff. I've been blessed with a passion to coach and to motivate. I've mentored a ton of students to get into Wall Street. I've done all this mentoring and coaching, and then I realized like there's so many women out there that need this style of coaching. I mean, tell me, and if you find this woman, please tag me, let me know if she exists. I have not met one life coach that que sea raza, or that comes from the hood and has made it and is now telling me, tell me how you stay inspired. Tell me how you stay motivated. Share your knowledge with me. I haven't found her. It's me, and I'm like, if I don't see who I want to become, I need to become her. And I want to create a tribe of women who become those women that we're all inspired and motivated by, other than just some celebrity that we'll probably never meet in life. I want everyday women to keep inspiring each other to be great, to have their lives fully aligned. And so that's why I'm saying you need someone to help you, to help hold you accountable, and feel free to connect with me. I am here for you. The other part, so step number 4, so first we're like, get clear on your goals so that you're not, this is all things why, how to eliminate fear. Get clear on your goals, have a reason why you want the goal, have an accountability buddy, and then work on the follow through, your mindset, right? It's really important to follow through, to plan. That's why I say baby steps. Be patient with yourself. Because once you set a goal and then you fall off, you're not showing up for yourself. I told you guys in the last chat, when you set up a dinner or a coffee chat with someone, you show up because that other person is there at the table and you're like, I have to show up. You need to show up for yourself. That's why I'm so big on 8 p.m. on Sundays. Make your calendar perfect. Oh, someone did this last Sunday and sent me a screenshot. I got so excited that they were doing the same thing. And I'm going to follow up with that person. It's in my DMs on how she did. So it's really, really important, ladies, to make sure that you set that plan up and that you're patient with yourself, right? Like, you're not just going to go hard and start losing a pound a week if you're like in a real struggle bus. You're not going to start solving and eliminating all your debt immediately if you don't set a small step-by-step tier. So focus on that mindset and have small little wins that are going to get you to that really big end goal. And so that's pretty much what I wanted to cover. I just wanted to let you guys know that I'm trying to create this experience for you all so that you know you're not alone. I'm going to take the rest of the time to answer any questions you might have. So feel free to start posting them and I'll address that. But in the meantime, make sure you check the links in my bio. There's the new product there, which is the exercise around how do I find happiness in my life? And it's 10 areas that I did research on and I crafted, and I said, these are the 10 areas that you need to be balanced on and aligned on in your life to find happiness. And then once you do that exercise, then you turn into the goal setting exercise, and that's how you get into those levels. So it's $5, ladies. I make it $5 because I want all of this super accessible to you. If I gave it away for free, I don't know that there's that. I need to understand if it's resonating. Because if you're not buying it, then I'm not talking to you and it's not sticking. So the reason why I put it is because if they're buying it, it's because it's working. So this is a learning experience. It's all super new for me. So for those of you that have purchased the playbacks already, they're $19. You can get this downloaded and sent to you every week in case you miss it. And then the exercise, which is the life alignment and goal setting, is $5. That's it. It's on my bio. So I'm going to leave it at that. Now I'll take any questions that you guys have. I know it's 8:30. I try to only do 30 minutes of coaching and then 30 minutes of taking your questions, because if I can't answer them, I'll do the work, the research to prepare and get these products or the coaching sessions for next time. So super happy to take any questions you might have. And thank you again so much. I'm super humbled that 16 of you are on here joining me, listening to me. It's really empowering to me to see, like, maybe this is working. Maybe I should keep speaking more. How do I take your list? What do you want? What do you need? I will prepare it. I love this stuff. Again, I do have a day job. So this I do on the side because I'm super motivated by it. And I'm also building a real estate company. As I explained in the last session, I'm trying to end generational poverty through housing and education. And I have some big projects I'm working on that I'm going to be super excited to share. But I'm working right now on paying off my student debt so that I can jump and figure out how to get into that. I wonder, we are scared to ask questions, or you said it hits home. Oh, I'm glad it hit home. Thank you for that. Thank you for taking the time to do this type of coaching. Oh, I appreciate it. No, I'm enjoying this coaching, and honestly, it came to life because I couldn't find anybody like me. I couldn't find someone who looked like me, who came from the experience. And she didn't even have to be Latina. I just wanted to meet someone who came from very humble beginnings, very humble backgrounds, who made it. I felt like most of the life coaches and the inspirational stuff I found was like, I don't know, it was very foo-foo, and I couldn't relate to it. And some of them were like, I couldn't find it. And I just thought, I'm gonna have to create this myself. I need to figure this out. And I talked to my therapist about it, and we dug into the why. Why was this passion here? And I think I've been mentored by so many people. I've gotten very lucky, and I don't want it to be that way. I don't want people to grow and have access to opportunities and people because they got lucky. With Instagram, okay. Do you find working out in the park is more therapeutic and beneficial than working out in the gym? Yes, I hate the gym because I feel like people are looking at me. I love just going to the park. I did that Myra Perez fitness challenge, and you could do everything in the park. I was the crazy one at like 5 a.m. working out with, actually there's like a police academy, so they were like going super hard, and I was like in my little corner doing my little sit-ups and the burpees. I died. I like sat there and almost threw up a few times. But I would run and do my cardio at the park and do the workouts at the park. And then her challenge just helped me understand like what's good for my body and how to work out. Let me go back to some questions. How did you manage to block out the negativity? Example, critical family members and friends. I'm a person who cares too much of people's opinions, and I don't know why. Here's my opinion. The reason why I think you care is because you have the time to. Once you hit pause, Aviana, and you're like, I did my life alignment. I know what I want. I've set my goals. At 8 p.m. on Sunday, I know what time I'm waking up, what time I'm showering, what time I'm hitting the gym, what time I'm getting home, what time I'm trading the stocks on the market, what time I'm going to work, what time I'm driving home, 30 minutes for dinner, an hour for a shower, boom, you're asleep. Where's the time to give a crap about what someone else thinks about you? You don't. And what do? You get up Tuesday and you do it again. And you get up Wednesday and you do it again. And when you hit Sunday, you hit pause, you ask your partner, baby, am I showing up for you? How can I show up for you? If you need more time, well, I want our dinners to be longer together. Okay, you adjust your calendar, more time for dinner. Kids, how are you guys doing? I maybe can't make it to all your events this week. Which one do you really want mom to show up at? That one? Okay, I'll show up. Girlfriends, schedule everything you love, because on Sunday night at 8 p.m. we're going to go to sleep in so much peace and so excited for Mondays. I get excited for Monday because I have everything I seriously love and want to get done that week. I have no time for negativity. And yes, it happens. Sometimes it seeps in, and the biggest thing I can say is remember self-care. One thing I've gotten away from is every week I love to have a 1-hour bubble bath. I just love blasting my music, having my little bubbles, sometimes watching a little Netflix, and that's my time and my peace to just kind of relax. And I want to get back into that because I value that. What I've noticed that a lot of my self-care time ends up being, watering my plants outside or something like that. And sometimes I'm on my phone scrolling, and that's when I get influenced to say oh, I wish I was that, or I want that for my life, or damn, I wish I could get that. And that's good, but it's not, you got to filter when you're going to allow yourself to let things influence you. And so, that's why being mindful is so important. Now, I leave my phone inside, I go outside and I water my plants, and that's my me time, right? Try to cut the noise, eliminate that. Let's see. When did you discover your why? I have whys I ask myself all the time. So is there a specific why you're asking about? I'm not sure what that one is. How did you stay motivated when some days are better than others? You have to pick something, right? For me, I walked you through that relationship. I would nothing else was going to happen around me until I fixed what the heck was going on with that relationship. And once we discovered that and I moved on, boom, then you have more time to focus and motivate on other things. I think some days are going to be better than others, right? But a lot of the times when you're not having good days, it's because you're putting too much pressure on yourself. Like I said, some of you are 20 pounds in 2 months, here I go, I'm going to work out every day. And then you just slowly, it's too much. Be patient with yourself. Wake up every day. Do the baby steps, right? Same thing if you wanted to set a budget and you want to go on this trip. Well, you can't go crazy and tell yourself, okay, I got $20 for the week for lunch all week. I mean, that's really tight. Like, start with a bigger budget and you can, and then get tighter and tighter as you go. You have to be super patient with yourself. You can't squat, 200 pounds on day one. Like, you gotta do little pounds, little by little. It's the same thing in life. When you get really discouraged, it's because you probably overloaded yourself and you're trying to answer too many whys at once. And you don't need to do too many whys at once. On that goal setting sheet I have, there are 3 goals. And that's probably all you have time for, is 3 goals. Because then it becomes chaos and it's too hard to manage. And then you're too hard on yourself. And then you shut down. And then you just want to, I don't know. You just start falling into really bad habits. You turn into a cave woman. And I talked on the last session about a cave woman and how dangerous she can be to your life. So it's cave woman versus boss lady. And you can get that whole speech from the last session. And don't let that cave woman set in. Let's see. How much time do you give yourself for social media? Well, because a lot of my job now through this stuff is social media, when I wake up in the morning, I spend at least 10 minutes drinking water by myself, like meditating. And then I'll use another 5 or 10 minutes to just go through social media in the morning. But I do that now because I stopped following a lot of accounts that just didn't bring me joy or energy or motivated me. I cut that out. Now when I scroll, I'm either waking up to you ladies tagging me or DMing me and something super empowering and motivating, or just you sharing your lives with me and how maybe this touched you. I love that. So everything on my social media now is pretty positive. I don't follow anything that's negative influence to me. And then I don't really plan my weekends too hard. On Sunday evenings, before I set up what I'm going to do for the week, I spend time on social media looking at, are there things that other people are doing that I want to incorporate in my life coaching performance stuff. So, yeah, but there's apps to track that too. And real talk, we probably spend too much time on it casually. Like, a friend was telling me, she's like, every time I get my phone, I just automatically open up Instagram when I'm just trying to send a text or check the news or something. It's like Instagram just becomes a habit. So be aware of those things. Reminder, you are enough. Just as you are enough. Tomorrow you will also be enough. That is correct. You are enough. That's why I'm saying motivation is nothing but passion and power. And power comes within you. You are fully in control. So you have the power. You just have to get down to the whys. It's going to take a little work. It's going to hurt a little bit. But you'll get there. Did drilling down to your whys help you find your passion, mentoring, wanting to build a community? I think so. I have always been, like I said, I had some mentors in my life that said, no, cabroncita, you are not going to be like everyone else. You are going to go to college. I didn't even want to go to college. When I was in 8th grade, I was like, I'm smart enough. I have common sense. I don't need to go to college. And it was, why did I have that mindset? It was because finances were tight in my house, and the last thing I wanted to do was tell my dad, hey dad, here's just $20,000 experience that I want. I just pushed it away, and I just got lucky, and I got a lot of mentors to help me. So my why as to why I do stuff like this is, desde chiquita, my mom was involved in church, and my mom is Mother Teresa. She's in the church giving, and she's my mom, if a new lady came to the church and she got sick in the hospital and no one was there, my mom would go visit the lady. My mom is just an incredible woman, and I had a great example, and I am very blessed to have her. But seeing her give, it was natural to me. So my whys and my passions, because I like to see other people succeed. I mean, when you think about it, there's 1% of our society that's super successful. Imagine being the Latina who's in that 1%. It's lonely. And I don't want to be lonely. I want a bunch of other Latinas on Wall Street. I want a bunch of other Latinas in MBAs. I want a bunch of Latinas that are on social media talking about healthy Mexican food. I want to see Latinas who are crushing their finances. I want Latinas who have friends to go on trips with, because we're all badass with our finances and we got our things together, I guess that why is that, I don't want to be alone. Everything you can answer with a why. Are my results in for my doctor? You hit me there. They are. Uh, the results from the doctor are in. We have to do some surgeries and do some next steps, and I'll leave it at that. But I'm happy. I'm good. I'm here. There's nothing I can do about that. Well, we're just gonna have to wait for next steps. But thank you for asking. That was very sweet. Do we have any other questions? Does anyone want to try and do this like live thing with me, like Gary Vee? Let's see how that works. I don't know if you request to go live. I don't know how that works. Questions from your viewers will show up here. Okay, I don't know what that is. Oh, hold on. Go live. There's a request. Allie, are you on still? Do you want to try that? Okay, maybe she's not. I guess anyone can request if they want to connect. Your video will come up though. I just thought it was really cool, so maybe I'll do that next week. I'll DM someone and say, hey, let's do a little session at the end. So I'll spend about 15 more minutes if anybody has any more questions. I loved your questions. Thank you so much, everyone, for those questions. They're really helpful. And I hope that this motivation session was helpful for you. I'm going to leave it live for 24 hours. I'm going to leave it live for 24 hours and then it'll be down, but I upload things to a platform. And so again, for 19 bucks, you'll have access to this one and any other coaching session that I do. And I put notes in there on like anything I referenced that has like a company or link or something. Oh wait, Allie, I think it's there. Hold on. Allie's being brave. I like it. Okay, add. Waiting for Allie. This is so cool. Hi.
That's awesome. Hi, how are you?
I'm good. This is fun. Thank you for
It
doing this.
is.
This is great. Happy to take any questions, or I just wanted to try this out.
Me too. I've never tried it, but I really enjoy watching the last two sessions that you've had. I'm a boys soccer practice, but
That's
I have
awesome.
my earpiece on to hear you.
Yes, multitasker. Love it. We
Yeah.
have time for everything. We just got to plan. That's awesome.
I just don't know if a lot more people can join or if it's just.
I think it's just one at a time. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
gotcha.
that's great.
Okay.
Well, now we
Well,
know
you're
it
doing
works.
an
Now
awesome
it
job.
works.
Yeah, not
Great.
too tech savvy over here.
Yeah, no, girl, I'm still trying to figure this out too. Okay. Well, this was fun. Well, thank you. I'll go ahead
Thank
and
you.
end it. Let's see if I know how to do that. Oh, there it goes. Awesome. So now we know how to do that. Um, Here we go. Request. Do a session with Myra, but we got to give her some time. She just had her baby. I know. I can't wait to go see it. I'm like, let me know when you get home. I'm so ready. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to meet that little precious bundle of joy. Yeah, I'll try to convince her. Let's see what she says. Any more questions, anyone? I think hopefully this was helpful. You can see all the different opportunities and products that I have on my website on the link in my bio. But send me and tag me in things. I'd love to do, just like I did with Allie, one of these, where we can maybe deep dive into someone's why. I feel like this motivation, this why stuff is really sticky. And so maybe we need some more examples. So maybe the next week we could do is maybe pick a few brave souls who are willing to put themselves out there and we can drill into the whys. Or anything. I mean, I haven't prepared what next week is going to be about. If you have any sessions, I'm here. Let me know. But thank you all so much for taking the time. And if you don't have any more questions, I'll go ahead and end it here. All right. Well, thanks everyone. Enjoy the rest of your evening.